All right, so guys, are you worried about somebody coming for your gold and your silver? Yeah, that is a lot of stuff that I get down in the comment section, and I kind of wanted to address it because a lot of you guys are worried, concerned, and some of you don't have access to deep water like the majority of us do. See, a lot of us stackers here on YouTube, number one, we have a boat. Number two, we have access to deep water. And number three, we're horrible at driving boats. We're always getting in these accidents. Unless you have that behind you, then you're kind of hosed, right? You're worried about someone coming and getting your gold and silver. All right. So number one is how are you buy your gold and silver? All right. How is the government going to know if you have gold and silver? Unless, and before you cut me off and you go down in the comment section and you start hammering Roy at me, I know FedNow is coming. Okay. Don't worry about that. So what I mean by that is if you're worried about the government knowing exactly what you're buying, you still have avenues, right? It's not going to roll out immediately. It's not going to be through every single person in the world has to go to FedNow in July. It's just not going to take place like that. Okay. It's going to be a slow rollout process. So you have time, okay, before you have to change things up. So you still have cash. It's not going away. It's not going away right now. The government can't take away what they don't know you have. Correct? Correct. I think we all can agree on that. Number two, they're not going to come door to door knocking, right? Demanding you give up your gold and silver. It's just too big. It's too big to do. It's just no way that they can do it. Now, I know they did just hire 87,000 new IRS agents. I know that's something that a lot of you guys are talking about as well. But let's be realistic here. The government doesn't care about your gold and silver. They don't. Okay. If they cared about it, why would they be selling it to you since 1986? You got the American Gold Eagles. You got the American Silver Eagles. You even got the special edition stuff right here. Why would they be selling it to you only to confiscate it? Oh, that's right. You're going back to 1933, right? You're going back to the executive order that was rescinded in the 1970s by President Ford. I just don't see the government doing that again. Even when they did it, it was on a voluntarily basis. Yeah, it was illegal to own it. But if that was the case, if everybody turned it in, guess what? We wouldn't have pre-33 gold right now. Am I right? Am I wrong? Okay, so I guess we can agree on that just a little bit. And to be quite honest with you, I want to say probably 95% of y'all ain't going to give it back anyway, right? I know I ain't. So it is a little bit preposterous that the government is going to go door to door and take from you what you have. And then the only way of knowing that you have it, well, is if you pay through it with banks or with checks or with credit cards. That's how they know you got it. So right now you do have that time. You do have the option of still buying gold and silver without anyone knowing, right? There's still peer-to-peer transactions. You still have Apple Pay, right? You still have all the other avenues out there that, you just send money. They don't know what you have. And even if you do just use FedNow, guess what? You're just sending money. That's the way CBDCs work, or that's the way crypto works. That's the way digital payments work. They don't know what you're buying. There's no ledger as far as what's in there unless it's documented on, say, a website. So if you're buying peer-to-peer, even with a FedNow CBDC, it doesn't matter. They still don't know what you have. So the whole notion that your privacy is 100% gone, that's incorrect. Your ability to pay taxes on that will be there. Okay, so they will get you on that. But as far as peer-to-peer sales, it's just a ledger of money transferring from your account, from your wallet address to their wallet address. And that's how it's going to work. So a lot of people, they're wound up and they're upset, but that's how it's going to work. Okay. Now, if you go to a coin shop or coin store and they're using a CBDC like they have now, then yes, there probably will be a ledger. But even whenever I go to my LCS, whenever I go to buy gold and silver, there's just a total on that receipt. It doesn't say what I bought. It doesn't say exactly like I bought a gold eagle for blah, 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 blah money. Or I bought a monster box of, hypothetical. I bought a monster box of silver eagles for say $15,000, which would actually be pretty good right now. But that that's not how it's documented at my store and or at the store that I shop at. So it's something to consider, guys. So a lot of you guys are getting drawn in and worried about the government and losing your ability for privacy, but the ability to get it cheaper without paying that 7% tax like I do here in the state, where I would be paying a tax on gold and silver. That's where I would have the issue. And that's something that the upcoming legislation that's going to come from this is going to be a real fight. So it's something to tune into, but I don't think that the privacy is going to go away immediately. I think it's going to be implemented over time as more and more vendors start to switch over. Because in reality, it's going to make your taxes a little bit simpler, even though it sucks because we're all going to end up paying more taxes to the government after we already pay enough taxes to the government. So it just does, it's going to get rid of that ability to be able to save money in a time where it's difficult. But I'm not a fan of it. I just want to be clear about that. But I just want to get rid of some of those negative feelings that the fear, driven feelings that you're not going to be able to maintain all of your privacy. And I think that is going to be false, because unless you've ever transacted with crypto, which is the exact same thing, right? It's just government control, government run, then it's not as bad as you're going to think it is. But like I said, your privacy aspect, everything you buy will be on a ledger. And that's something that can't change. But as far as transacting in gold and silver, that can still be a form of cash. And it's one of the many reasons why I like stacking gold and silver, because it gives me something outside of the system. So that is one of the things that I do feel like, I don't think we're going back to that. But what I'm saying is you can trade services for services without the government knowing if you have gold and silver. Now, I wouldn't do that, because for me, this is just strictly savings. But say the opportunity came up for real estate. If they would take my gold and silver for that real estate, that's something that I would look into doing, right? I think we can all agree on that. But back to the confiscation. I just don't see everyone coming door to door knocking and trying to get your gold and silver. I just think that is a sale tactic. And I think it is, it's played out. Okay. It needs to come to an end, because even if they do come, you're not going to give it up, right? You're not going to give it up. That's just not going to happen. It's just not going to take place. And leave me your comments down below. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Thanks for the nice video last time. We got a lot of views on that one. So let's keep the momentum going. And as always, guys, keep grinding on your stack.